to go green to save the planet.
Go green. Yes.
Yeah.
What are you working on and what's important to you?
For now, I'm working on climate change aspects, dealing with the vegan diet. I'm trying to promote a green diet, that's a vegan diet in relation to the climate, because I'm advocating for a reduction in animal farms. Yeah, because I think a lot of methane gas is released as a result of the animal industry. So I'm trying to promote veganism in my community as a means of protecting the climate. I have decided to go vegan, and so I started with cutting 50% of my meat intake, and then I avoid using animal products like leather bags. Secondly, I avoid washing, a lot of washing because of detergents. We use a lot of detergents in washing, so I avoid washing a lot. I do organic farming. I have a little organic farm, which I do. And then I have a team of women here, Women's March Global. I don't know if you are aware of Women's March Global. I'm the chapter ambassador for the Pamela chapter. And one of our objectives is to protect the climate. So basically, I do what I can do to protect the environment, like planting trees, reducing carbon emissions. And for those I cannot do, like industrialization, I advocate for.
And what
Like to curb.
spell the name of the group, please, that you work with.
Women's March Global.
Okay.
W.
I got it. I just didn't hear it before.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Where did that group,
Yeah.
how did that group start and how did you find out about it?
I found out about that group online. I was doing research online for women groups. Then I found out about the Women's March Global, and then it was they kind of have a partnership sometimes with Walpole's. They always work with Walpole's.
With what?
Women's March Global with Walpole's.
With World Polls, right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and
So.
And what do you do with World Pulse? You post and communicate on it with other women around the world?
Yeah. I share stories on Walpole's. I share resources on Walpole's. I'm an encourager on Walpole's, and I'm an ambassador on Walpole's.
What does that mean, to be an ambassador?
Being an ambassador is like I lift up the voices of women in my community. I encourage women in my community to come on Walpole's and speak out.
Mm-hmm. And what about women who aren't as educated as you? How do you reach them? They're not online. They don't have access to computers. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, now I hear you. Did you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. So my question was, how do you reach out to women who aren't as educated as you, who don't have access to computers and go online?
Yeah, we have a team here. Firstly, I run a local organization called Happy World. It's actually a peace and green village. So there we build a team with rural women, educated or not. They are members of that team. And then on Women's March Global as well, we have women there who are not educated. We meet once in a while. We come together, group ourselves, and carry out activities.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are not online, we work with them on site. For those who are educated and can browse the internet, we encourage them to go online and do more advocacy work there.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
what tell us about your background? How did your family encourage your education? What kind of educational background do you have?
Yes. My family educated me. I have a first degree, Bachelor of Science in Economics. And my mother is also a gender activist and very passionate about the climate too. She's a vegan.
Wonderful. What about your father?
Yeah. My father is of late, so there's not much to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so where did you go to university?
In Cameroon, University of Buea, Southwest region.
Mm-hmm. And what I've
Yeah.
what I've read about Africa is that there's a problem with sexual harassment, even from professors and teachers, that they take advantage of women students, and that sometimes women students feel like they have to go along in order to stay in school.
Exactly, it's very true.
And how did
I
you?
did not go through it. I did not experience it, but I have a lot of friends. I had people who were going through similar experiences, and I have girls who have walked up to me because of the roles I play in regards to gender equality, who have confided in me to tell me what they face.
Yeah.
Not only at the university, generally higher institutes of learning, not
Right.
just universities, higher institutes, sometimes right down to secondary schools, girls are being abused sexually.
And is there any kind of movement to support them? Like in the U.S., the National Organization of Women, you might be able to talk to them and they would help. Is there a way? Is there some place that girls can turn to?
Yes, right now there are some organizations who protect the rights of these girls. But another aspect is right now in my country we have a serious conflict which has affected education. We have the Anglophone crisis, which is seriously affecting education. So most of the times, these girls are abused by the military. If you speak out, you can be killed or jailed. So sometimes they really have nowhere to go to. But on the other hand, there are organizations here like the Doctors Without Borders, like myself, what I do, I actually counsel girls for financial assistance.
You can give the girls financial
Like,
assistance through the organizations.
I, yes, I cannot give them financial assistance directly, but I can direct them to organizations who give them financial assistance for medical care and medical checkup. So it's difficult, it's complicated and really difficult, but there are organizations on ground who are really trying, some national and international.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have one brother and one sister.
And are they involved as well?
No, direct brothers and sisters, no, but in the family circle, some cousins around, yeah.
Mm. Are you the first
Yeah.
child, the firstborn?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And then, how did you first learn about the whole climate change problem?
Firstly, I learned about it from an organization, the Supreme Master Shanghai International Organization. Not actually, she enlightened me about the urgency or the emergency of the climate action right now. But firstly, from secondary school days, back in school, they told us about the climate was changing, but I did not know the impact of it. So later on, she came and made me to see the urgency
Mm. And how do you
of
spell her?
action to be taken
How do you
to
spell her
fight
last
climate
name?
change.
Excuse me. How do you spell her last name?
HAI.
Ah, where is she from? From Cameroon?
From,
No.
no, from, she's a Chinese woman.
Ah, from mainland China.
Yeah, but I think she's shuttling between China and Los Angeles, I think.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, she has an organization.
And then why do you think that you are a leader when, say, your siblings aren't? What is there about your personality or your background where, because it takes a lot of courage to stand up and speak out. You have to be
Yeah.
brave.
Yeah. I don't know, but I just think one, age-wise, I'm bigger than them. Secondly, the experience you have in life. Thirdly, research. I've done a lot of research. Maybe as they grow up, they do advocacy but on a small scale, not like me, and they're still growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're still growing.
Mm.
So I just feel that, I don't know, maybe passion too.
What about men in your life? Do you plan to get married? What are you thinking about men?
Yeah, I think I need a man. I plan on getting married, having a family. I'm very positive about it.
But I'm assuming that you would look for a man who understands climate change and the need for action.
Yeah. I have a lot. That's why I need someone to understand me and to understand my passion and work and help me. It's difficult, but I just need someone who thinks like me, works like me, who understand me, who advocate like me. I don't know, but I hope he comes one day.
Yeah, sometimes men are threatened by women who are strong. They think, oh, if she's strong, then I can't be strong, which is wrong. But sometimes men are threatened. Do you find that?
I find that every day. I hear it every day. They tell me every day. I meet people who tell me some are negative, some are positive, some like to help, some just feel threatened. I meet that every day. I face the situation, but I cannot trade off my passion for another person's life.
Yeah. So do you think of yourself as a feminist?
Very, very. I'm 100% feminist.
Uh-huh. And
Very, very.
and when did you first start thinking of yourself as a feminist?
I think from childhood. From childhood, I had been a feminist, but I had not discovered it. I did not know it was a passion. I just knew I was a feminist. I just realized I help women wherever I go. I prefer women. I prefer to bump into women. I prefer to talk to women. I did not know it was a passion. So as I grew up, I started interacting with them a lot because my passion was being with them, building teams with them. So as I grew, I just got into it. And then War Pulse really helped me a lot. Yeah, War Pulse really helped me a lot. Yeah.
And then, to me, it's really exciting that globally the young climate change activists are girls or young women, like Greta Thunberg, that everybody knows about. Why do you think it is that most of the young climate change activists are women, not men?
I think by nature women are protective. If you ask me, I would say by nature women are protective and compassionate. To be a climate activist, you must be compassionate. You must have an iota of or a glimpse of what compassion is all about. So by nature we are like that. And then secondly, this is the era of women. I just feel women are getting into leadership roles. Secondly, I feel and thirdly, women are the mother of humanity. Yeah, if you talk about the mother of humanity, they have been given the duty and the role to protect their children. And if you cannot, there's no future on a dead planet. So preserving the planet is preserving a future for your children.
It really takes a lot of courage. I mean, for Greta Thunberg to be 15 and start sitting in front of Swedish Parliament and to speak in front of the UN at 16, that takes a lot of courage. It's kind of like Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani advocate for girls' education, when she was a teenager, spoke in front of the UN. That takes so much courage.
A lot. Takes a lot.
Yeah, so I'm wondering why women seem to have more courage right now than men.
As I said, this is an era for women. When I analyze and I look at it globally, women are taking up leadership roles. everywhere, not only as climate activities. I, for one, am a peace advocate. Most of my articles were on peace because I've been affected by conflict. So I've written a lot of articles on peace. I've mobilized women on peace. And I realized we cannot talk about peace and leaving out the climate. It cannot go. When I did my analysis and research, I saw that a lot of people are dying from climate change, but it's been ignored. I'm not a mother yet, but I'm a mother to humanity. And the way I feel, I think that's how other women feel. Women are out to protect the future by nature. I think God put us here to take care of the future for everybody. So we're just doing our duty. It's just a duty that was put on us. And then now we are realizing, coupled with the internet, a lot of research, children are enlightened, everybody knows about what is going on now.
What kind of religious background did you grow up with? Christian, Muslim?
Christian.
What kind of Christian? Catholic, Protestant?
Protestant.
And do you think that makes a difference too in emphasizing compassion?
Yes. My religion, it encourages compassion to an extent. I think religion also discourages compassion, if you would ask me. Yeah. Because if you look at Christianity, for example, there is a lot of hatred among religious groups, a lot of fighting in-house among religious groups. So as much as you tell me as a Protestant to love a Protestant and hate a Muslim or a Buddhist or a Hindu, I mean, you're not doing the job.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
so it's two-way. Yeah, it's two-way.
When I wrote a book called Resist: Goals and Tactics for Change Makers, and a theme that I heard a lot was that to reach people you need to tell a story, that facts and evidence, they can only hear so much of it, that maybe that should be less than a third of what you say in your message, that you have to tell a story. Do you agree with that that's how people hear the message?
Very much. I agree with that, like 90%. People believe in the stories of others. If you look at why, for example, I'll take the case of Oprah Winfrey. To me, when I read about her and I heard about her, her story has a lot of impact.
Who?
Right in Africa here, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah is a role model because of her story. Yeah, even in Africa, she's a role model as I speak, even right here. So storytelling to me, it's a wonderful means of advocacy and activism. Talking of your success stories, talking of your failures, you inspire others. So to me, it's a good tool.
A lot of times in activist groups, people start, at least here, people start fighting over who's the most pure, who's really following the right way. Oh, you're not as pure as this group. And they start infighting. Or people get overwhelmed and drop out. So how do you deal with keeping a group working, moving forward for activism, for group?
I think the strategy I use is for participatory team building. Let everybody participate. Everybody's opinion should count. That's the strategy I use. Everybody has a part to play. You bring up ideas because your natural talent might not be my talent. My talent might be team building, to create the team per se, and you can mold the team. So that's what I do. That's the strategy I use. I don't dictate, I don't know. Everybody's opinion counts. That sense, everybody feels a sense of participation, you feel a sense of belonging.
What if someone has, okay, your job is to do X, Y, Z, and that person flakes, they don't do it. So you're counting on them as part of this group effort to get this task done, and I was too busy, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. What do you do about people who are flakes?
That's why when I'm building a team, I take into consideration that there are people who are always like that. I face those kind of people every day, and you group them. You prepare a team and you prepare a group. In that group, there's a lukewarm person who can learn, there's a spearheader and know how to organize the team. So if one person is drawing back, the other people are pulling that person up. And at the end of the day, after we analyze and reevaluate together, as I said, we always work as a team. We analyze and reevaluate together. We know where to place those kind of people. And we keep encouraging them because we cannot send them away. So we just keep trying.
What about sometimes in groups, I think more so with men than women, some people just want to talk and they want to be heard and they talk, and it's like, we're not here to give speeches, we're here to organize and get things done. Is that a problem sometimes with people who dominate?
Yeah. It's a problem of people who dominate a lot. Most of the time, people who dominate don't listen to others. So they make the others feel inferior. In that case, when we have a group and we have people who are always domineering, we don't give them assignments. Yeah, we don't give them assignments, or what we do with those kind of people is we keep them busy. You give them assignments to work alone. They present their reports to others. That way, they are always busy and they don't come and suppress others. Because if you send people to work with them, they suppress the people and they get people angry. So we give them assignments alone, they work alone. They bring their reports to others who still evaluate. That's how we deal with them.
That's brilliant. Then people like rewards. I mean, we know there's conditioning. People respond to rewards. What do you do to make people stay working? How do you give them the incentive to keep going, even though it's hard sometimes?
Firstly, we give them space. The fact we keep working all the time, but the fact that we keep working, we don't put a lot of pressure on people. People have their daily lives to live, they have their normal routines, they have their families. So we give them space so that by the time we come back, they still have the energy to keep going. Because when you mount pressure on people or you put work on them, they feel discouraged and sometimes they go away. So when you give them time to rest before they come back, they are always energized. Yeah.
So roughly in your local team that you work with, how many people roughly?
I think I work with about 80, between 80 to 100 people.
Wow. And is that working on the farm, or what's the focus of that group?
We do advocacy, we do training sessions, we do educative sessions, we have a lot of activities. Like now, we're planning a vegan event. We'll come together, we'll cook ourselves, we cook vegan meals, we go out in a caravan and we'll distribute the meals to the general public. So we don't have, depending on what program we carry out, that's how we plan our activities.
And to be a vegan, what do you encourage people to eat for protein? Because that's what people always say, oh, you need meat for protein.
No, there is tofu, there is gluten, there is mushroom. Yeah, for now, those three. That is what I encourage people to replace meat with.
Do you have a recipe book that you share with people? This is how you can make tofu taste good?
Yes, we have a local recipe book we prepared, but it's not really full. It doesn't have most of our traditional meals here, so we're still working on it.
Are you optimistic or pessimistic? Because the UN report on climate says we have maybe a decade to turn things around. If we don't do anything, we'll be at too hot a climate, and you can't turn it around. And then we have the climate deniers in the U.S. and around the world. We have Bolsonaro and Brazil. The Amazon is burning. So in the face of those stubborn human beings, are you optimistic or pessimistic?
Both, both. I am optimistic because I see a lot of climate activists coming up. As you said, a lot of children. I feel encouraged. I really feel optimistic. You see, everyone is getting involved. I see the amount of money that is put in to fight the climate change. I'm optimistic. And then when I follow climate pages like climate activists on social media, I see the work they are doing. I really feel optimistic. But then the input it's not equal to output. The output is slow. So I feel pessimistic because as much as people are putting in a lot to fight climate change, the output is slow. It's not going as I thought. So I'm both pessimistic and optimistic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Did in Cameroon, does the government address the issue at all?
Yeah, they address the issue, they try on their scale, but as you say, there are a lot of deniers even here. Some people are adamant to change, some people are still burning for it, some people are still, a lot of things are still going on. The animal industry is growing, much is still to be done, and much advocacy is being done.
That's exciting. What do you see yourself doing 5 years from now? What will you be doing?
I plan on, firstly for myself, I think I would like to have plan on having a master's in in climate and development.
Oh, from where?
Yeah.
What university?
I don't know. I don't know. I just have the passion to study climate. So, not yet, no plans yet, but in 5 years' time, I should have a master's in climate and development. Yeah, I think I'll be running. I plan on running a vegan restaurant. I plan on creating an eco-friendly shop for eco-friendly products here. And then I think one of our problems here is energy. We still have energy which is not renewable. We don't encourage solar energy, wind energy. I don't know, maybe because we're still somehow, let me say, backward, or we don't see the need for it, or maybe because of advocacy, but I intend to run a renewable energy plant to encourage people and to make it available for people to use. Yeah.
What other languages do you speak besides English?
I speak a bit of French and my local language.
Which is what?
Mancon.
Could you say hello, it's nice to meet you in the local language?
Hello, is that anything? How can I say it?
Okay. How would you greet someone?
Obena.
Obena.
How are you doing? That means how are you doing?
Okay, good. Can you show us a little bit of the farm with a laptop, with the camera?
Let me go around. It's not it's just part of the farm is here. The other farm is far from here.
So
this is part of the farm.
Ah, lovely. What kind of plants are those?
Yeah.
What are they?
Sweet potatoes.
Oh.
Cocoyams. Sweet potatoes, cocoyams. Bitter leaf. This is cocoyams. And then I have vegetables here to prepare soup with. This is aloe vera.
Oh, yeah.
Here. Sugar cane. So I do a little bit of mixed cropping.
Yeah. Is that your family home?
Yeah. My family home. These are other vegetables around. So we have maize here.
Do you have chickens, or you don't do eggs?
No.
No eggs.
Oh, I'm against. Yeah. I'm even against animal farming. So I don't do it.
Got it. Is there anything else that you would like people to know about your work? Is there like a website that we can refer people to in terms of your work?
No, I have a page on Facebook. No, I don't have a website yet, but I have a page on Facebook. Happy World, Peace and Green Village. That's the name of my page.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, I know that you have something else to do now, so I'll let you go.